How is it going, every single one of you awesome people? And welcome to the second episode of my video series of Better Life. That's what I'm calling it now, I guess. I think I might have called it something else last video, but I forgot it. I didn't even watch my own video in preparation for this one, so that explains how much preparedness I have for this. Just like zero. But I'm gonna be serious. I prepare for these sometimes. Actually, it's more of an impulse. I'll be honest. There are times where I'm trying to pump myself up to do a video, and then I don't do it. And there are times like this where I just throw the camera on, and then I start talking, and then I'm like, okay, well, here we go. Time to shoot a video. So today, I want to talk about, let's see, a lot of topics to do with improving quality of life. And I think a good starting topic would be the things you do for fun. And that's something we can all relate to. We all have things we like doing for fun, whether it's playing cards, running, throwing rocks, throwing shoes to people. I don't know. Everyone has their own idea of what's fun and what's not fun, in contrast. And I think when it comes to improving quality of life, you have to learn how to maximize the time and the things you do for fun, so you can make the most out of the time that you're doing responsibilities. Because face it, whether we like it or not, we all have responsibilities we have to keep up at school, at home, at other places, and no one wants to do the responsibilities all the time. Now, of course, some people are like, "Oh, I love my responsibilities. I want to keep doing them. I'm committed to them, and I love it." And people who are like that, cool. I think they've got like most of what I'm gonna say already kind of down in their head. But there are some people who like have responsibilities and aren't as thrilled to do them, and I'm one of them. I literally have dishes to wash right now, and I know for a fact if I don't do it within the next hour, I'm gonna forget about it till like 8 o'clock, and I'm gonna go to sleep and be like, "Oh, I had too much homework," and I really didn't. So I'm already, kind of iffy on that aspect, but obviously I'm working on it. I'm probably gonna do dishes right after this video, but honestly, I think it's a lesson that we're all gonna grow to learn, whether we like it or not. And I think just kind of understanding it now makes us way better at managing our quality of life than it will later on. Because face it, being prepared and having control of your responsibilities at this age, or younger even, is going to be super helpful when you're facing a shit ton of responsibilities as an adult, or like growing teen/adult, and having to do that on the fly and learn then. So that's all I'm saying. Now is the better time. That goes for most things, actually. Learning earlier is most likely better. Unless it's like something bad, then younger is not better. But my say on things is that we all have those responsibilities that we don't want to always do. So finding ways to push through that not wanting to do it, or that feeling of like, I don't want to do it, whether it's cleaning, exercise, making videos, all of that applies to this. Even responsibilities that you think are like really fun, like like going out to buy things, like I want to go and buy things, all the time to kind of, treat myself. In fact, you don't want to always go buy things because either A, money, or B, it's a chore because you either do it for someone else, like the household, for your parents, or you do it because you just have to, And it's like, finding a balance between the things you want to do and the things you need to do. And it comes in handy really well when it comes to like fitness and personal kind of maturity and growth, like focusing, like meditation, or not meditation, just taking in the world around you. Because we're always so caught up in like moving from our next event to this, to that, to this, that taking time out of your day to truly relax and look around you is something we don't do a lot or nearly anymore as like a society. Because when we're not focusing on like a mandatory school assignment or work, we're focusing on something else that's dividing our attention. So we're never truly zapping our attention away from the world around us. We're always on something, doing something, or like on top of it, instead of sitting back, walking outside, or even inside if you have like a patio or something. If you do, I'm jealous. And just sit there on the grass, or if you don't have grass, sitting there on the stones. I know some people think it's uncomfortable, but I know there's my select few out there who really enjoyed kind of sitting on rocks. Or just sitting on any surface you have that's like outside of your house. And just taking in the world for a second, you know? Don't get obsessed about how insequential we are in the whole process of the universe, because it's true, and don't get me wrong, but if you focus on it too much, it kind of just brings you out of that mindful mood. It's like, now I'm thinking of how pathetic my life is, and if I die, what would happen in the universe? What, like 30 people would be sad, and then that's it? Like, well, yes, but obviously it's way more than that if you actually consider it, in detail. So, but it's just thinking, becoming, and focusing on the world around you, admiring the little details, like admiring how the leaf on that tree just fell down and how no other leaf is going to fall down just how that leaf fell. That shit like that is what I'm talking about. It doesn't just have to be, oh, look at the tree, or look at how the bird flew across that window, or look how that bird pooped across the car or something. No. That sounds a little too preachy, like trying to make you do some monk crap. At the same time, though, the monks did do some really awesome, holistic, wholesome things that if you're interested in, you can do some research on, and really cool. I'm actually going to do some research myself, because learning how different cultures and religions and people lived is another really interesting topic that I want to get into in a different video. But back to what I was saying, you don't have to focus on holistic trees and nature. No, you can even look at the road in front of you, if you have a road in front of you at least. Go outside, go down the street or the sidewalk, and look at the cars passing by. You don't have to stare at people as they go by. I mean, you can if you're just ballsy like that, but just admire the process of the cars going past you. Realize that, hey, each one of these cars is a human life zooming past me. It's someone who has their own thoughts, feelings, expressions, passions, and has their own entire family tree, and has their own entire worries and troublesomes and everything. That's what happens when a car passes by. And when we're in our day-to-day action, it's just seen as, oh, car. It's a person. Like, we don't truly, we know what it is, but we don't take it in as it is when it happens, because we're usually so dot to dot to dot to dot to dot to dot to dot with things that we're occupied with in life. And that's just kind of how taking a second out of your day can help you just feel better. At first, it may feel like you're like, oh man, I could be doing this right now. But then you really do it for the first couple times, and then you're like, wait a minute, that was just like 5 minutes of my day, and that didn't change a thing at all. Like, is 5 minutes really gonna screw you up on that homework assignment? Like, no, it won't. Because if that time really mattered, you'd be doing it right now and you'd be done. Or like you'd have a plan set out to do it, because you've done this work before, or there's some type of work, so you kind of internally know that this is going to take me about this time, or this is going to take me about this time, because that's how the brain works. Record things, we keep it in our heads, and it's kind of stored in there. So you would know if it was going to take you an hour long, so you know to start an hour before. And if you're in the middle of doing it, you're doing it, and that's what you're dedicating your time to. But if you're like kind of chilling, relaxing, eating outside also is like super fun. I know not for everyone, it's not enjoyable, but finding finding the finding the weather that is most optimal for your enjoyment of eating food can really kind of help get past that barrier of eating food outside. If you don't like the bugs outside when you eat at a time where the bugs are asleep or just asleep, or the bugs are not active, or the bugs are like really, not moving around. And if that's still a problem, invest in like a not bird. I don't want to say bird. Bug zapper, and like boom, no bugs. But yeah, finding that time, finding that place to actually eat food outside that you can actually enjoy is astronomically gonna make eating a process that you enjoy way more. Because I know for a fact, not everyone can enjoy food like me and some of my friends do. I know for a fact, some of you guys just like see food as like a place to dump some time into and like get back to your activities. Or some of you guys just eat food while you're working, which appalls me. But as someone who's also a hard worker when it comes to any work that I actually have, I understand, because there are days when that pressure's on and you just gotta scarf down that food while you're hard at work, and I understand that too. But it's not every day. So finding that time to, or eat that ramen or sip that tea or some food, eat blackberries, it just makes eating literally less of a chore for some people and just a fun experience to have. And a quick cool tip that I love doing when I'm eating my food, no matter what food it is, always find time to take one bite or slurp or whatever you're eating, if it's like liquidy or solid, and really chew and feel that taste in your mouth as you're eating and how it feels on your tongue. And then when you swallow, feel how that kind of just transports down your body and breaks down into your whole food eating system down there. And then you can continue eating normally, because doing that like all bites is, it's cool. I do it sometimes, but I don't do it all the time because I just like just feeling that passion of eating. So I recommend doing that at least once, one bite per meal, because it always hits, especially dinner time too. Dinner time, bro. Dinner time goes crazy because that's the last meal of the day, and don't tell anyone I said this, but that's the best meal of the day is dinner time. Breakfast, good, opens the morning, but breakfast most times is pretty small, especially when you have school, so you're never eating a big breakfast. And school breakfast, don't get me started on that. There are some bangers. I think like little chewy bars or gas. I need those. I need like 3 of those a day, but they only give you 1, so that's my gripe. And sometimes you get toast, and it's like 1 bread, and it's like, okay, cool, but toast is toast. If you make it at home though, get that jam, jelly, modify it with every single thing you can, then toast goes pretty hard. Then lunch is good too. Unfortunately, I'm cursed with eating lunch at school, so it's never gonna be that great. I'll be honest. School lunch can only go up to, hey, this is pretty good. It never goes above that, and most times it's around meh. But dinner time, that's when you've been home for a hot minute. Whether you eat at like 6 or 8 or like 9, even later than that. I eat sometimes later than that because I'm just both different. But whenever you eat dinner, just having that homemade possibility is amazing because you can get whatever you want. You can have breakfast for dinner. You can have lunch for dinner. It doesn't matter because it's your dinner. And if your parents make your dinner, or grandma, then they're good too. Well, grandma dinners at least. Mom, dad dinners can vary in quality, but we're getting to that age where we can make our own dinners. And if you really want a fantastic dinner, then you can make one yourself or learn to make one. Yeah, that was me ranting about breakfast, lunch, and dinner because it's very important. Always eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner because you feel better when you do eat all 3 than when you skip out on one. Don't try this at home. Don't skip out on breakfast for like 7 days and then don't skip out on breakfast for 7 days and feel how different it is, because it will feel different, much better. But don't deprive yourself of that essential first meal because then you'll regret it severely. But yeah, that was episode 2, learning with mind, or learning to grow. I think I forgot what I said at the beginning of this video, but yeah, that was episode 2, growing and taking that mindfulness and living that one moment in your life to just take a little breath, take a little refresher, clean yourself up mentally, a little scrub, and get back in there, because life's like a football game that never ends. That was pretty bad because I've never played football, so I don't really know if it's like a football game, but it's the essential fact of me saying that football or life is gonna be like on you. Some days it's not, some days it is, but it's always gonna be there building up, and you just have to take it down. But take those times out there, take your time outs. All right, let me do this now. Take your time outs when you need to, when you want to. Usually it's better when you want to or need to, because if your body's telling you to take a time out, take a damn time out, because your body is literally your engine, your car. It's like Jarvis telling you systems are shutting down, or like close to low battery, so you need to take a refresher, eat, take a nap, refresh your brain, close your eyes for like 5 minutes. That's kind of long. 5 minutes. Close your eyes for 5 minutes and just revel in the darkness. Because think about how much crap and how much shit your brain is absorbing every time you blink. You're like, okay, I see everything in front of me. You blink, and then you retake that again and again and again and again and again. And so it gets even worse with with screens, because oh boy, that's a lot of things entering your brain and your eyes at once. So yeah, just be mindful of that and grow. I'm gonna end every episode with that. Be mindful of that and grow. Tell me how you guys like that. I think that's pretty cool. All right, I'll see you guys next episode. Take care. Sleep well. I have not been getting good sleep. And stay hydrated. Yeah, that's pretty good.